Have you ever given deep thought to the profound nature of obedience, as vividly depicted throughout the sacred pages of the Bible? It's an intriguing notion, isn't it? These ancient scriptures, a complex tapestry of age-old wisdom and divine guidance, offer us countless insights into the core essence of obedience. From its illustration in the Old Testament to its reinforcement in the New Testament, obedience holds a significant place in the biblical narrative. Let's commence our exploration with the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 1. It asserts, "Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. But don't let its simplicity deceive you." This verse is not just an instruction for the young, but a timeless reminder for all ages. Obedience, as it suggests, is a virtue that begins with respect and understanding towards the wisdom of those who guide us. To grasp the true depth of this notion, let us also consider the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 1, which states, "Let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established." This verse illuminates another facet of obedience, suggesting it extends beyond the familial sphere, encompassing societal and governmental structures. In the Old Testament, the book of Exodus, chapter 20, reverberates with the 10 Commandments, which are, in essence, a call to obedience. Each commandment, whether it's honor your father and your mother, or you shall not murder, the importance of obedience to both God's law and human relationships. These examples from different books of the Bible underline the significance of obedience, portraying it as a virtue intertwined with respect, understanding, and divine law. So, the concept of obedience in the Bible is far-reaching and diversified, carrying a profound implication for our lives on both personal and social levels. If you're enjoying this exploration, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Closer to God channel. Did you know? The word obey appears in the King James Version of the Bible 69 times. It's a recurring theme that underscores the importance of obedience in our spiritual journey. This frequency isn't a mere coincidence. Instead, it's a testament to the significance the Bible places on obedience. In the book of Genesis, we see obedience in Abraham's willingness to sacrifice his son Isaac at God's command. In the book of Exodus, obedience is exemplified in the Israelites following Moses out of Egypt. We see it again in the New Testament, in the obedience of the disciples leaving their lives behind to follow Christ. These instances of obedience are not just historical narratives. They are lessons for us to incorporate into our own lives. The Bible repeatedly brings our attention back to obedience, reminding us of its importance in our relationship with God, our families, our communities, and even our own personal growth. In the upcoming scenes, we'll dive deeper into specific instances of obedience in the Bible and how they can guide us in our daily lives. So stay tuned as we explore this fascinating topic further. Let's delve deeper into the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 1. Here it reads, "Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right." This verse, though seemingly simple, holds profound wisdom and guidance for all of us, irrespective of our age. In its context, the Apostle Paul wrote this letter to the Ephesians while he was in prison. He aimed to guide early Christian communities through the complexities of their faith and their roles in society. By instructing children to obey their parents, Paul was fostering a culture of respect and understanding within the family unit, which he viewed as a microcosm of the larger Christian community. Interpreting this verse, we find that it speaks to the heart of obedience, beginning within the family. It teaches us to respect and heed the wisdom of those who have more experience and knowledge, and it sets the foundation for societal obedience and order. Applying this verse to our daily lives, we understand that obedience is not a blind submission to authority, but rather an informed respect for wisdom and guidance. This verse urges us to listen, to learn, and to apply the wisdom of those who guide us, whether they are our parents, teachers, or spiritual leaders. This obedience, rooted in respect and understanding, can lead us to a more harmonious and fulfilling life. As we continue our exploration of obedience, let's focus on how this virtue begins at home. One of the most compelling examples comes from the book of 1 Samuel chapter 3, where young Samuel obeys the call of God. Despite the late hour and his confusion, Samuel listens to the voice calling him, showing us an example of obedience that sprouts from a place of innocence and trust. In today's world, the concept of obedience starting at home is as relevant as ever. In the family unit, children learn to respect and obey their parents, setting the stage for them to understand and respect authority outside the home. This early understanding of obedience helps to shape how they interact with teachers at school, how they respect laws, and ultimately, how they connect with divine commandments. To better illustrate this point, consider the daily routine of a family. Parents set rules and guidelines for their children, from simple tasks like making their beds in the morning to more complex ones like managing time for homework and play. This routine, though mundane, is the first introduction to obedience for many children. They learn to understand that these rules are set for their benefit, and by obeying them, they ensure a harmonious and balanced life. In the same way, the Bible teaches us that our obedience to God's commandments is not a burden, but instead a path that leads to a fulfilling and virtuous life. As we learn to obey at home, we are better equipped to understand and follow the divine commandments in our journey of faith. Now let's delve deeper into the concept of obedience as a timeless reminder for all ages. Throughout history, obedience has played a pivotal role in shaping societies and civilizations. It has been a cornerstone of order and harmony, a guiding principle that has transcended cultural, geographical, and temporal boundaries. From ancient civilizations that thrived on structured hierarchies and rules, to modern democracies that operate on laws and regulations, obedience has been the invisible thread connecting them all. In the Bible, obedience is not only an act of respect towards authority, but also an expression of faith and trust in God. This timeless principle is beautifully encapsulated in Hebrews 13:17. Obey your leaders and submit to them, for they are keeping watch over your souls, as those who will have to give an account. Let them do this with joy, and not with groaning, for that would be of no advantage to you. Today, in a world that is increasingly individualistic and self-centered, the concept of obedience is often misunderstood or even dismissed as outdated. However, it remains as relevant as ever. Be it obeying traffic rules for our safety on the roads or following guidelines during a global pandemic for the greater good, obedience is still crucial for maintaining order and harmony in society. Similarly, in our spiritual journey, obeying God's commandments is a testament of our faith and love for Him. It is a timeless reminder that guides us to live righteously, serving as a beacon of light in a world that often seems dark and chaotic. As we navigate through life, let us remember that obedience, whether at home, in society, or in our spiritual walk, is not a constraint, but a path to freedom, peace, and fulfillment. Allow us now to delve deeper into the book of Acts, specifically focusing on chapter 5, verse 29. The verse reads, "Peter and the other apostles replied, 'We must obey God rather than human beings.'" This statement was made by Peter and his fellow apostles in response to a directive from the leaders of the WHO had wished them to desist from preaching in the name of Jesus. However, this verse does more than just narrate a historical event. It is a powerful piece of spiritual advice, guiding us to prioritize divine commandments over the laws and opinions of mortal beings. The apostles' defiance of the Sanhedrin is a stark reminder to stay true to our conviction and faith, even under the scrutiny of societal norms or when faced with adversity. In application to our daily lives, this verse has profound implications. It encourages us to uphold our faith and ethical convictions, even if they are not popular or understood by those around us. It is an edict to live a principled life, guided not by human judgments but by the wisdom and commandments of God. So, as we navigate through life, let us remember the words of Peter and the other apostles, and allow their courage to inspire our actions. As we traverse the spiritual path of the Old Testament, we stumble upon a potent verse in Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 27. It tells us, "There will be a blessing if you obey the commands of the Lord your God that I am giving you today." This verse, with its time-honored wisdom, elegantly encapsulates the bountiful rewards of obedience, promising blessings and divine favor as the fruits of our loyalty towards the divine will. Such teachings underscore the importance of prioritizing divine commandments over worldly influences. Take, for example, the story of Daniel, who, undeterred by the pressure of King Darius's decree, continued praying to God, thereby choosing divine edicts over earthly laws. His unwavering faith was rewarded when he was saved from the lion's den, a testament to the blessings that come with prioritizing divine law. In today's world, this translates to maintaining our moral compass in the face of societal pressures. It could mean choosing honesty when deception seems easier, or kindness when apathy is more convenient. Every time we resist the temptation to compromise our values, we are, in essence, choosing God's commandments over worldly influences. And as the verse promises, our faithfulness will not go unrewarded. We will reap the fruits of our dedication in the form of inner peace, personal growth, and a sense of purpose that transcends the transient pleasures of the world. Finally, we delve into the book of Romans chapter 13 verse 1. Let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. This powerful verse implores us to respect and obey earthly authorities as they are instruments of God's divine will, fostering order and justice in society. We see in the Bible numerous instances where faith in the face of adversity meant clinging to obedience. Consider Job, who remained faithful, obedient, and served God despite unimaginable trials. Or Daniel, who stood firm in his faith and obedience, refusing to bow to the king, resulting in his survival in the lion's den. These biblical accounts are powerful reminders of the importance of remaining true to our faith, even when the odds seem insurmountable. In the contemporary world, the principle of obedience can be applied to various aspects of life, such as obeying societal laws, adhering to moral and ethical codes, and upholding the values of honesty and integrity. It can be as simple as not giving in to peer pressure, standing up truth and justice, or choosing the right path even when it's challenging. In conclusion, obedience in the Bible is a deep-seated concept. It is an expression of respect, a testament of faith, aid to blessings, and a means of preserving order and justice. It is a virtue that transcends time and space, as relevant today as it was in biblical times. So, as we navigate through life, amidst challenges and adversities, let us remember these profound biblical teachings about obedience, and let them guide our actions, shape our decisions, and enrich our spiritual journey. Let us hold steadfast our faith, just as Job and Daniel did, knowing that this journey is not always easy, but it is always worth it. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of obedience in the Bible. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep growing in faith. And remember, true faith can weather any storm. As we delve further into our exploration of obedience, we should ask ourselves, who should we obey, how should we obey, and what are the benefits of being obedient? The answers to these questions lie within the pages of the Bible. Firstly, the Bible emphasizes the importance of obeying God and His commandments. As depicted in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 11, verse 1, love the Lord your God and keep His requirements, His decrees, His laws, and His commands always. This verse affirms our responsibility to adhere to God's laws, an act of obedience that affirms our love and respect for Him. Secondly, we consider how we should obey. The Bible provides a roadmap for obedience, guiding us to follow God's commandments, respect worldly authorities, and live a life filled with love and kindness. In the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 8, we are instructed to owe no one anything except to love each other, for the one who loves another has fulfilled the law. This verse reminds us that obedience to God's law is an act of love. Lastly, we explore the benefits of obedience. The Bible assures us that obedience to God's commandments brings blessings, divine favor, and a fulfilling life. In the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verses 1, 2, if you fully obey the Lord your God and carefully follow all His commands, the Lord your God will set you high above all the nations on earth. All these blessings will come on you and accompany you if you obey the Lord your God. In conclusion, obedience, as taught in the Bible, is a path to a blessed and fulfilling life. It's a testament of our faith and love for God. As we navigate the often tumultuous waters of life, let us remember these teachings and let them guide us towards a life of obedience, faith, and love.